Hey guys, it's Pingu here with part 1 of the Dwarf Fortress tutorial. I'm going to assume you've heard of the game, seeing as somebody linked you here, but if you haven't, it's a game akin to SimCity in that you have dwarfs that make a fortress. I mean, it's right in the name, but I have a download link in my description of which you can download the game and my save, so you can play the game right alongside me. When you start up the game, you should see this option to continue playing, hit that, and then hit enter again, and you're in my game. And the game's loaded up. These are dwarfs huddled around the starting wagon. I haven't made them do anything, I just picked the world, and picked all the traits, and so you can play the game straight off the bat. No hassle involved. First thing is you can move around using the arrow keys. You can see we've just got a lot of trees here, a river, some pools, and a dwarf sitting there. Hit tab a few times to change the view mode until we're at this view mode where the menu is on the right side. And this menu will show you all the hotkeys, or at least the most important hotkeys in the game, so you don't have to memorize them straight off the bat, but it definitely helps. When you're better at the game, you won't need it at all. So we have our dwarfs there. We need to try and dig underground, because our dwarfs cannot sustain themselves for long above ground. The first thing to know is that it looks like a 2D game, but I did say dig underground. It's because there's multiple levels. If we go down here, you see that there's little ramps down, because we're on top of a little plateau. If you hit Shift period, what am I talking about, for the right caret key, you go down a level, and then Shift comma for the left caret key, you go up a level. And you can do this for a lot of levels. See, we're on down the bottom right, we're in level 143. So there are a lot of layers to level. You can even go up in the sky if you want. You can build towers, but for now we're just going to dig into the ground. So go down a level. Now let's go to the far right corner. You see we can't go right any further. It's kind of unfortunate because I picked an area that had a lot of good traits, except apparently not enough hills. And but part of the game is adapting to this, so what we're going to do is go back down here, hit D for designations, and if you're underground, by default it will show up as mine, but hit D again if it's not, and you should be in the mining mode where you can determine what will be mined or not. Hit enter somewhere at the start here, and you specify the top right corner, or any corner, and then you specify the other corner and hit enter again, and it will command your dwarfs to go dig out that area. You hit escape. Escape is just the universal back button in the game, and then hit space to resume. I'm going to look at the dwarfs first. Hit space, and as we do, the two mining dwarfs, the two with the pickaxes, immediately run over to the area. Well, I guess we'll watch them. They're digging through pretty quickly because there's no rocks here, it's just a lot of silt. And how do I know this? You hit the K key, which is look around, hit the K key, and you can move your cursor over any object, and you see it's a silt loam cavern floor. You can move it over and see this is an oak tree. Exciting. Shrub, and you can use this to look at anything, including we've got a deer down here. And if you hit enter on him, it will have this little text saying, "Oh great, it's a very fat deer." Lot more detail than we need, but that's part of what Dwarf Fortress does. It can randomly generate a lot of detail. If we hit V, V is similar to K, except it locks on to the nearest unit, so we can lock onto this deer even though our cursor is a long way away, and lock onto these miners and see that they're digging right now, and it's a competent miner. You can do a lot more in this V menu, but just know that's how you easily look at any units. That's the cat going to his owner, and dropping off a skeleton of one of the creatures he's killed. That's what the purple skeletons are, if I can find any now. The cats are vermin killers. They will find any sort of bugs, or any sort of flies, or whatever, and kill them, and usually just drop the skeletons wherever they want. But see, the woodcutters are done. They're coming back to camp. Not woodcutters, the miners. That's a bit of foreshadowing, because we're cutting wood now. Hit D, and you will hit T. It should be default selected if you're above ground. Same with the mine, just select an area using the corners, and then hit enter again, and it should select those as to be cut. You see nobody's cutting yet, is because if we hit V, and we go over to this guy with the axe, he's a woodcutter. Right now he's fishing. That's okay, because I set him up to be a woodcutter and a fisherman. So he will finish up with the fishing, and then go and cut the wood, because the wood has a slightly higher precedence. There he is. He's going to cut the wood now, and he'll go back to fishing when he's done. And see, the logs are created when he cuts down the wood. Okay, here we are. Here's the cats doing some work, or something doing the work. There are tons of rat remains. I'm not even sure if this is the cats. I almost think it's a bug. It seems to happen every time I load up this level, but the rats just die in large amounts, and you can even nothing interesting. But those are just vermin remains. Don't be alarmed when you see skeletons, because vermin are, like the name suggests, not good. We want to build a warehouse because we want to get our supplies out from above ground. We want to put them underground with a safe. So we build a mine area, and then we make some doors, 2x2 doors. You can do it where you just select the corners. If the corners are next to each other, just as a straight line. You can also use your mouse. With mine selected, you can just click on tiles to specify them to be dug out. And now your workers will, the fact that flashing means that the miner will go mine that first. That's what the currently selected one is. They'll go cut that down and then keep on mining. We still haven't found any stone yet, so we're going to need to try and dig a bit deeper, but we'll wait for a bit later before we do that. We're just gonna first find a place to store all our stuff, because right now it's sitting out by this wagon. But any forest creature could decide to just pinch it if they wanted. I don't think the deer are gonna do anything though. All the bugs around here. Yeah, the miners should be nearing completion. Once they are, we need to make a stockpile, and you make a stockpile by hitting the P button over here. And also the skeletons will start stinking up if they're left indoors, so we need to make a stockpile for them outside at some point, but we'll leave it there for now. We can make a stockpile, and I hit the P button, for animals, or food, or furniture, or even a graveyard, but we don't want just one. We don't want just food here. We want everything stored here. So we're going to go down to Custom Stockpile, at the bottom, but we're going to hit T for custom settings, so you can define the custom stockpile settings before you place it. We're going to go to food and hit E to enable it. We're going to enable some furniture, because I think they have some. Going to enable some finished goods and some wood. And you can enable more, but just don't enable refuse or a graveyard, because you don't want things stinking up your underground cavern. It's fine if they're above ground, but not if they're below ground. So placing stockpiles is the same as, say, mining. You just start in the corner and go to the other corner and enter, and it will create this cool little pattern. Eventually your dwarfs will come down. You see how those idlers are 0 now. I should have pointed that out earlier, but they've all decided to pick up the task and go move their goods indoors. And that's the end of part 1. I will resume part 2 when they're done putting all these supplies down there, and just watch them for a little bit, look around, see what is on the map. I'm just trying to get accustomed to everything.